This is John LeBaron with Chimney Tech Professionals. This is a video portion of my inspection. This is where I take a look at the inner walls of the chimney system, otherwise known as the flue. There is a lot more that I do besides this, so ensure you review my written report for all my findings and recommendations. This is a clay liner system. The first thing to talk about on the clay liner system is it's actually small for the size of the fireplace. We also have gaps between the flue tiles. In order for the flue tiles to have their heat rating, or the value, the gaps are not supposed to be there. I'm supposed to see a term called struck. In other words, I'm supposed to see the filled and smooth on the inside, so that is no longer existing. In other words, we don't have our heat barrier that we're supposed to have. Again, and it's also too small. The flue is also smaller than it should be. We also have two exterior metal braces, one just below the roof line and one below that. That would indicate a reason for those braces to have been added, such as possibly damage. The chimney will move a little bit when I push on it, not enough to indicate damage, but I would have to have the braces gone in order for me to really tell you the system was not damaged. Here's some gaps right here between the flue tiles. System's also not really dirty, but could use a cleaning. Here's some more gap between the tiles. The very bottom tile also has a vertical crack in it. When you have a vertical crack in the tile, you are supposed to do some sort of a new liner system. Since we have a flue system that's too small already, putting a stainless steel liner would just constrict it even more. Let's look at that cracked tile. It should be this right here somewhere. Sometimes it's hard to find it a second time, but I'm sure we will. And if we don't, I took a picture of it. I'm going to move on. There it is. So that is our cracked tile. One of the things on a cracked tile is when the fireplace heats up and the chimney heats up, that crack expands and gets bigger, thus potentially allowing heat to pass where it's not supposed to. So it's considered fire safety. We also have a fairly large gap where the flue system meets the metal, I'm going to call it a metal smoke chamber. It's kind of a metal form system. From just above the actual firebox. Actually, the entire firebox is a metal form. What am I talking about? So from here to the flue system, there's a gap. It's a pretty large gap. We also have a lot of warping of this metal form. When we really look at it, the metal form is really no longer meeting its UL listing at the time it was installed because of all the warping and rusting. Pretty easy to determine when we need a new metal form. We also have indications of shifting of the structure at the very bottom. You see the gaps right here? This usually tells me that the system has shifted out of its original position. We also have a shift here and some cracking here. And then, I can't get my camera over there, but we also have some, well, maybe I can, let me see. We also have a shift and a crack here as well. That would indicate movement of the system. You know, without more information, I would just talk about removing the fireplace system and reinstalling it with a new one. Ensure you review my written report for all my findings and recommendations.